Welcome, one and all, to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. There it is, folks, the way God intended it. I am your King of Extreme, Phil KOE. No, that was double KOE. That is two Phil KOEs.
Oh, nice.
Price one. That is probably the best deal in the history of all eternity. I am your King of Extreme, Phil KOE. You can find me at KOE Nation on YouTube and Twitch. And we are here at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast to give our review of the results of Money in the Bank. The check has been cashed. It's in the bank. And that is Money in the Bank 2021. Now, gentlemen, I must confess something.
Let's hear it.
I was in the fields. I did not see all of Money in the Bank.
You did miss a little bit of it.
A little bit, but I did see something that was kind of important. A certain man who cannot be seen.
You saw him?
Yeah, how did you see him?
Well, I saw the green t-shirt.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay. But yes, folks, there's something that needs to be addressed. This rapscallion ne'er-do-well chicken and his enabler here, Tony G, they robbed Phil KOE of the proper show opener point. It was stolen, folks. I mean, this is basically like a metaphorical 74,000 mail-in votes being counted when nobody asked for them. That is like an allegorical 400,000 votes not having chain of custody documentation in a metaphorical state, like 20% of the ballots. That is like all of the rapscallion ne'er-do-well. That is like Tony, metaphorical Governor Tony changing the rules after the ballots have been cast. I mean, folks, I could go on with this. So, Tony, we're going to take this all the way to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. I'm going to get the My Pillow guy on this. I'm going to see if Rudy Giuliani's got anything going on.
I was just going to say, Tony, I did not know that Phil was a pillow salesman.
You know, I didn't either, but here we are. I'm part of this too, damn it. All right.
Type in promo code Q for 17% off of My Pillow.
All right. So, anywho, this is Phil KOE. I'm Tony G, and let's just get this out of the way right now. That over there is still your reigning, defending COVID
undisputed
chicken. All right.
Legit. Hashtag legit champ.
Well,
no denying.
Do this, man.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Man. This was the first event back with the crowd, so it wasn't it was a soft reset. We'll get there. By the next event, you'll be back to where you should be, but I digress. Congratulations anyway, you fucking asshole. We have some comments. I can't reach the computer. Can you pop them up if they're worthy?
I'll help you out here. We got yanked up. What a show. Not as good as this show. Yeah, you're damn right.
Speaking the truth, the Cena. True, we will get there. We will get there. And yes, Justin, you bet on the wrong horse yet again. It's not working out for either one of us. So
it's working out for me. I get another bottle of Maker's Mark this time.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, this man is speaking the truth. Hashtag stop the chicken steal,
all right,
folks.
Let's talk Money in the Bank. We got folks rolling in. If you like the show, you hated the show, you think we suck, you think we rock, get in the comments, let us know one way or the other. But again, kicking this thing off on the pre-show, shocker, should have stuck with my guns before the prediction show. The Usos did pick up the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Bit of a shocker, but I guess if you want to do that, it shocked the crowd. What a better way to do it. It did. Didn't think they'd reward the DUI, but hey, here we are.
they made comments of it too, like in the little promo cut. Yeah, is sitting there and he's like, "Oh yeah, I brought you back," and then he looks over at him, and the camera pans beautiful. To him. Oh,
that was beautiful. Roman's like, "Jay, you wouldn't even be here. I brought you back, right?" And Jimmy just looks around all awkward. At least they acknowledged it and made a joke of it.
It was a good way to use it for humor. It was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Now, I do have to say, folks at home, this whole time, I got to hear the events unfolding live in kind of the way that people used to listen to wrestling matches in the 1920s and 30s. because I was listening to it on my phone as Tony and Chicken were giving their commentary of this show throughout. So it was all like, and yes, the grappler has done well against Mr. Wrestling number 2, and he has got him in the. It was great. I did really feel like I was back in the 1920s again, just like listening to radio wrestling. And so I got to hear you guys give me radio wrestling. And so I feel like I was there in spirit.
We got some more comments rolling in. We're about to jump into the main show itself. What do we got here? Some of a biatch. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry, Justin. I let you down once again. Okay, here we go. We started the show off with the women's Money in the Bank match. This isn't going to take long, folks. We all liked Alexa Bliss to win this thing because out of everybody in this match, she's gotten the most screen time on all of their shows, or so I hear, because I still haven't been able to sit through an entire Raw or SmackDown since the Zombie Lumberjack match. My boycott continues. And was it enough to break it after tonight? We shall see tomorrow night, because I do like the idea that maybe Becky Lynch could show up, so I just might watch Raw, but we shall see. So this match had high hopes for. It was the opener. We liked Bliss. We kind of liked Sonya Deville. We kind of liked Liv Morgan. There wasn't a lot going on here. This was actually pretty fast. There was a little bit of clunky spots. The crowd was big behind Naomi, big behind Liv. They liked Alexa. There was some clunky spot, but that fucking Sister Abigail DDT.
That is hard to believe.
Looks amazing.
They still like Alexa.
They still like Alexa. That looks great. There were some decent spots, but just when you thought this thing was going, the fucking match was over. Am I wrong?
Now,
No.
can I? This will be one of the last times I inject for a little while.
Okay.
You guys can both back this up. Like literally, like minutes before the winner happened, I say, I really would like Nikki to win. I just don't think they're gonna do it. Like, God, I hope she would. That would be
It was
so
literally
good.
like
And
3
then
minutes.
next, that would be so swell. And then the next picture they send me is Nikki. Like, boy, you want to talk about spoke too soon?
I literally said, I hate this gimmick. It's like the Rosie or Jamal or whoever the fuck the superhero in training the shit was. That was the worst thing ever.
I call her Scottish hero in training.
Oh, God, I hated it. And then, she won. So, as soon as we started saying this could get going somewhere, it was over. What did you think, Jay?
Yeah. It was like 3 minutes before the end of it. Phil had proclaimed, "Hey, I don't think it'll happen, but this is who I really want to win was Nikki." But that aside, you're right. Actually, I thought Liv Morgan looked awesome. She was the only one that seemed to be able to consistently nail almost everything. She was on point tonight. I was really impressed with her. There was a lot of clunky spots, but towards the end everybody's climbing the 3 ladders, and here comes Nikki, just like climbs up behind everybody, and like nobody notices.
Nobody noticed.
And she climbs like over the back of Liv Morgan, and I'm like, what the hell?
She has the power of invisibility.
Apparently,
I just realized it. That's her superhero power.
She stole Cena's can't be seen ability.
Damn. Okay. Now it makes sense.
It was super lame ending too. I'm like, all these girls on top of the ladder, somebody's getting dumped. This is gonna get cool, and there's only gonna be like 2 left. And like, I knew it was coming to the climax. It was coming to the end. I just thought it would be a little bit cooler than a whole bunch of girls slapping each other, and then one just randomly goes, "Haha, nobody hit me," and pulls the fucking briefcase down. I was like,
I didn't love it. It was an okay opener, but here's the thing. Like you said when we were talking about it, Phil, maybe they just didn't want to do all the shit that the guys were going to do later on. So if that's the case, you don't want to do all the same shit that the guys are going to do in the same match later on. Don't even have the match.
Well, yes, but it was like Jim Cornette had a great pointing out about the Royal Rumble matches. It's like, could you imagine if back in the 90s or in 2000, I'd say, okay, Vince, I know we're going to have this Royal Rumble match tonight, but before we're going to have the women go out and do all the same spots for about an hour, and then we got to have the men and your stars try to get it over an hour later. He would just start hitting us with sticks. I don't even think he would talk to us. So that's why, like, I think when you got these big gimmick matches, I think they either need it is one of those either all or nothing. Like the TNA, they did the lockup where everything's a cage match, or your main events, the MacGuffin
if it's
match.
me, I would do away with the concept of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Do away with it. You could spread these out. You could do a men's Money in the Bank at like SummerSlam. You could do the women's at WrestleMania. Spread them out a little bit. It'd make it feel a little bit more special. And then you wouldn't have to handcuff one of the matches and end it 5-10 minutes early just because you don't want to upstage the next one on the same card.
I do think putting a Money in the Bank match back at WrestleMania would be good because they try to get everybody on Broadway anyway. So rather than making it a 6-person, make it an 8-person or a 10-person Money in the Bank match. And then everybody gets to go to Broadway.
So Nikki Ash, the former Nikki Cross, wins the Women's Money in the Bank. Member of Raw. What comedy shall come? Oh, joy. This will be wonderful. Moving along.
It'll at least be better than Otis's time with the briefcase.
Yeah. Moving along. Next up.
That's not hard to beat.
No, it was terrible.
What did you rate this one, Tony?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot. I did rate it. I gave it 2.5. It was serviceable. Nobody embarrassed themselves. 2.5.
I went with a 2. I just was not invested at all.
No, I wasn't either.
Other than a few really nice Liv Morgan spots, I did not care about anything in this.
No, I didn't get hooked. And that's the thing. They push Alexa and then they bury her, literally and figuratively, because she got buried under the fucking ladders.
They all collectively buried her under ladders, and I can't. What's the commenter guy's name?
He's never saw her again, even though she has superpowers.
The women's division buried Alexa Bliss. I don't know why.
They buried her in ladders, and the commentator goes, "Oh, they got to bury her in ladders because of her superpowers." And I was like, "Did he just say that?"
Yep. Even though she has superpowers, that took her out of the match. This makes no sense. All these big stipulation matches they put her in, and those superpowers don't do shit for those matches. Weird, crazy. What the fuck? Anywho, moving along.
Well, maybe it's like crowds are like kryptonite for Alexa Bliss's superpower.
All right, let's move along because we've already wasted way more time talking about this shitty match than I wanted to. Moving along to what I actually thought was a pretty damn decent tag team match. AJ Styles and Omos defend the Raw tag team titles against the Viking Raiders. Now, I really was getting invested in this. I really thought this was a decent match, and up until the end, Omos really just kind of started shitting the bed. There was too much Omos. He needs to be very, very minimal in the match. They pushed him a little bit more in this one. He was very clunky at the end. They had me. First, before I get that, I'm sorry. They showed highlights from last year's Money in the Bank where the Vikings profit bullshit competition happened. That almost took me out from the get-go. But I'm sitting here by myself watching this thing, and I'm enjoying it. And it's getting good. I'm really liking it. And then they take AJ out. They hit Omos with the big finish. They don't quite – or no, excuse me. They hit AJ with the finish. Yeah. Omos is on the apron. He goes to stop Omos. Omos pushes him back in, and it breaks up the pinfall. That was they had me. I thought for sure that was going to be the finish, and I was getting a point on it. And I'm like, oh, my God. And as soon as that happened, I knew I was screwed for the rest of the show. But I really enjoyed this thing. AJ does get the big win here because he's just phenomenal. Well, actually, almost got the win after a very clunky finish. But I'm going to pretend like it was AJ with a phenomenal forearm and pretend that this was still a 3-star match, even though it was really probably a 2.75 after almost really clunked up the finish.
Yeah, I gave it a 2.5, and if take almost out of this whole thing, he ruined it. I know he's better than what he showed tonight, at least a little bit, probably not a lot. But I gave it a 2.5. You remove him, easy 3+. Like AJ was on point, Viking Raiders were on point. Like there was a lot of really cool spots. But just the like when Omos is about ready to get hit over the ropes, like he takes the first 2 steps before he gets hit to like lead his way into falling over the ropes. You're just like, oh my God, he's only been doing this since WrestleMania, huh?
What? Now wait, guys. You mean to tell me that a newly signed big man is a little clunky in the ring? That's never happened.
Not a little.
The guy that didn't even push through NXT just fuck it, go out. You're on the main roster, and fuck it, you're a tag champ.
I was about to say, hey, Omos, what do you bring to the table? I'm like 7'12".
Put a belt
How's
on.
Raw sound? Yeah. Tag team champion?
Perfect. Yeah. No.
With a veteran of the industry, AJ Styles.
Yeah, there's really no other pairing that would work besides JJ to carry his ass. Yeah, I don't know. It was going to be 3+, and then almost really kind of tanked the end for me, but it is what it is. Moving along, what was the third match? Was that
Is that Bobby?
That was Bobby and Kofi. Bobby Lashley defending the WWE title against Kofi Kingston. Would Kofi Mania strike twice? Not a fucking chance in hell, and we knew that going in. That's why I'm like, fuck it. They're going to do this as the opener. They're going to squash Kofi, and that'll be the end of it. That puts Bobby over strong. He's the first thing the crowd sees. That's what they should have done, because that's exactly what they did, except they put it on third. Now, wow, did Bobby beat the ever-living piss out of Kofi. Kofi, they did kind of call back to the Lesnar match with Kofi when he lost the belt to Lesnar. Bobby rushed him in the corner. He jumped up because at that time in that match, he jumped onto Lesnar's shoulders, ate an F5, and that was the match. This time he jumped over Lashley. Heyman grabbed, MVP, one and the same, right? Had a hold of his ankle. They kind of flubbed this spot. He got a quick roll up, got a 2 count. That was almost all the offense that Kofi had because he got the ever-living piss beaten out of him. I mean, by the end of this thing, the ref was saying, please pin him. You've killed him enough. It was beautiful. Bobby looked like a monster. Nobody other than that little flub at the beginning really missed any key spots. This was really good. I loved it. Kofi played his part as a ragdoll perfectly. Bobby looks great, and I'm just very disappointed that now he's going to be re-exposed as green as hell when they force him to go up against the perpetual green Goldberg at SummerSlam. But yes, Bobby Lashley does retain. I loved the beatdown. I gave it 3 stars.
Yank Deb says, poor Kofi, I did like him, but now he's a rug. I gave it, 3.25. It actually made Bobby look better than he really is. Like, exactly. I thought it, like, they did a perfect job telling the story of he is dominant, he's back, he's focused. Like, that was exactly what they wanted to put over, and beating the hell out of Kofi like that, it did it. Like, I thought it was great. 3.25, easy. And
on Raw, they had Xavier Woods get a clean, quick win over Bobby on Raw. So you're like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm like, as soon as I saw that happen, I'm like, oh, he's going to just curb stomp Kofi. This isn't even be close. And that's exactly what they did. But I still don't understand why they gave Xavier that win on Raw heading into this match. I don't know. It was weird. It was a shock. It didn't do anybody any favors. You just had to reposition Bobby up the card by punishing the fuck out of Kofi Kingston. So I don't know. I hope they got what they wanted. We do have a couple of comments. Looks like Goldberg better not win. Little fettuccine. Thanks for joining. You and me both, bud. I hope not, because that would be disgusting.
Unfortunately, what would happen for me is it would be another one of those Vince McMahon. Just when I thought you couldn't do anything more stupid, more short-sighted, more unbelievably ignorant, you go do this. And totally redeem yourself, Goldberg! Goldberg!
No.
Goldberg!
Boo this man. Boo this man. No, we have buried enough pushes.
This is why I've held the belt almost all year.
See, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. What do? You come in, you have
you guys.
You have Goldberg win and win the WWE title, or what? You have Lashley beat Goldberg, which does nothing but tarnish the legacy of Goldberg further because he's just coming out and losing now.
Well, that's what he's doing, is putting over the new talent.
That's great, but at one point it doesn't do anything.
They only have like 4 or 5 more matches on contract for Goldberg, so they are going to put over as much. They wasted one on Braun Strowman. Let's be frank.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Gave Braun a win over Goldberg to get the belt off him, but then they release him. Like,
yes, Justin Chris. Boo, Phil.
Months.
Boo, Phil.
No. What you're actually hearing, folks, is people just astounded with me and just amazed me, and you're hearing them go, ooh. Like, yes.
Chicken plays the analytics.
Yes.
So, all right. Yeah.
I'll neither confirm nor deny.
We know Goldberg's supposed to be on Raw, so we assume that's going to be the matchup because I doubt he's going to challenge AJ and Omos for the tag titles. So, moving along. What was
next? What is tag partner?
Was it
Fiend? Why not? Fuck it. Jesus.
Yeah, fucking do it.
At this point, I think
Charlotte was next.
Oh my God.
I think Charlotte was
He just broke people's brains.
Charlotte goes up against Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title. And I wish, like, my whole thinking going into this match was, I'm going to pick Charlotte because I think they're both going to pick Rhea Ripley. And then it turned out you both had the same fucking thought process as me, and it kind of sucked. So, not to spoil anything before we get into this awesome fucking match, but yeah, Charlotte did get a mostly clean victory over Rhea Ripley. Now, what I really liked about this, these two have great chemistry together, but the problem is there's always some clunky spots no matter what, because they're such... They both have very athletic frames, and neither one of them are used to having that in an opponent. So I think that's why you get a little bit of style clash, but they both know how to work with each other, so they typically save it, and they did several times in this match. We said this before at Chicken. I think you said right out of the gate on the prediction show that nobody knows who the heel is, right? Charlotte went, well, fuck that. I better just set this in stone right now. And went and started just flipping the bird to the crowd, trying to get a reaction.
She did the old DX suck it first. Yeah, the screen goes black because Peacock had to censor something apparently, and then it comes back, and she's just walking around, flipping everybody off, getting the crowd back into where, like, she had to make sure they knew.
Yeah,
she was the heel.
It. I thought it was a good move on her part. She's a ring general. She knows what to do to get a reaction out of the crowd. It set
because like half the crowd was cheering for her, half the crowd was for Ripley. Like they were chanting opposite of each other. Yeah. It was like, we see that later on the night. We'll get to that in a future match. But the heel has to come out, and when you have that live audience, it tells you why it's so important to have that live audience and how that plays a factor in everything.
Well, that's just it. And I think they're trying to do like a Pseudo Stone Cold gimmick with Rhea Ripley, right? And it's not quite natural, not like it was with Becky Lynch. The crowd turned her into that. They're trying to make Rhea that. Well, so you can't be anti-hero, anti-face before you're established. She's not established yet. Yeah, sure, she was the champ coming in, but she wasn't established on the main roster yet, so it didn't quite work. Nobody knew who was the face and the heel regardless of the build. So that felt a little clunky. Charlotte got on top of it right away. I loved that. God, right out of the gate, these gals really start laying in some shots. The spot that sticks out the most in my mind was when she's on the, how did that work out? She was on the turnbuckle and they almost botched that, right? And then she,
there was a couple of things with turnbuckles in the ropes close to the turnbuckle. So like there was the one where Ripley got, it was like a heavy whip into the corner, and then she went over and she smacked her head on the actual ring post, like corner of it, and she had to take a dive over the side. Then there was another one where she went to go bounce off the ropes, but she was too close to the turnbuckle, so they had no give, and you could see she like didn't bounce; it just like stopped her, and then she had to like get herself going again. I was like, oh, that's gonna hurt tomorrow.
Yeah,
so that'll pull anybody's back muscles. I don't care how athletic you are. That had to suck.
Yeah, and then Rhea catches her for it almost looks like a guillotine, but they're supposed to transition into a suplex.
And she had to power
weight it. Was off center, and they saved it. Charlotte was able to push herself out, and Rhea was able to get enough strength to go through with it. They saved it. They saved all the clunky spots, but this was a great match. They laid all their shit in. The moonsault was flawless. This is when you should do it on the pay-per-views, not on Raw. Do it on the pay-per-views. She hits it perfect as usual. Rhea's in the right spot, eats it perfectly. Nobody got hurt. It was really good.
Or on AEW Dark Adam Page.
Yeah. Charlotte establishes again that she's still the heel, tries to get the dirty pin using the ropes. The ref sees it. This is storytelling. This works. This is heel work. But no, she locks in a big Boston Crab at one point. Nobody thought that'd be the finish, but that looked great. My God, they put in a lot of effort here. Charlotte does finally lock in the figure eight, and they held it for a little bit, but not too long to where it got boring, and eventually Rhea does tap out. So mostly a clean win by Charlotte for number 14, I believe.
Gosh, it was 14, I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
Is there anybody on the roster that hasn't at one point tapped the figure eight?
God, nobody's gotten out of it.
Let us know in the comments, folks.
Nobody's gotten out of it. I think this makes Charlotte like a 6-time Raw Women's Champ, which I'm pretty sure is the frickin' record.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong in the
Like,
comments.
I think you're pretty right, because I was doing a compilation. I was compiling the data for my personal picks for the top 5 and top 10 champions, and Charlotte for the Raw champion, I think she was like 4 or 5 times when I was compiling off an old list. So who knows? It's been a few months. So
she plays the heel.
Had 3 more.
She plays the heel perfectly, and the crowd and the fans that are marks despise her. So she's doing something right. There's a reason she's the champ again, folks. I think it's a great move. I love it. I can't wait to see another match between these two. I gave it 4 stars. I was hooked. I loved it.
Yeah, what did I think I gave it a 3.75. I loved it too. Those clunky spots though, and the near injuries is what I saw. Like there's like it was just one right after another, and I just kept going, oh, okay, they made that work. And then I was like, oh, okay, they made that one work. I was like, it was just some of them were just a little too close for comfort. You could tell that wasn't exactly how it was supposed to go. They're both pros, which thankfully that's probably why they didn't get hurt, and they pulled it off, made it look good. But yeah, I gave it 3.75. Very entertaining all the way through, and it just got better as it went on. I thought it started too slow though. I think that's why I kind of knocked it down from a 4, because that's where most of I can get missing some spots when it's more difficult or high paced, but at the beginning when they're going slow. And this is typical. You mentioned this earlier. They're both very athletic. They're big frame girls, and they don't have other people that size to train with a lot of times. So it takes them a good 5-10 minutes to get going and really feel each other out. And they're always like, one's trying to step first, and then they're like, oh no, you stepped too early. And it's this weird. It's like when you have a really shitty dance partner, and you keep stepping on each other's toes, and it takes you about 5-10 minutes, and you're like, oh, okay, now I got this right. Like, that's the only reason I knock it down a little bit. If they could ever get past that, those two, you're right, the chemistry when they're clicking, damn, it's really good.
Now, I far be it from me to assert a conspiracy theory. This is all allegedly, but it is kind of known that flares will sometimes kind of lose a skip in their step if they don't want their opponent to look that good. So
no, come on. Charlotte was going over, so she would have wanted her to look top shelf.
True. I'm just saying. Yeah. Now, hey, maybe it's Ripley kind of giving some of that back for a few times in the past where that.
I think if anybody's guilty of that, it's Sasha Banks. I'm looking at you.
Oh, calling
snap
it out right here.
All right. So I loved it. Can't wait to see more. I'm actually excited to see what they do next. So, yep. With Becky coming back, who knows what they do? I'm very excited. Let's move along, though. The men's Money in the Bank match. This was.
Hold on. Should I turn the screen black real quick, and then we just
I was going to say, can you fuck up the feed? Because I missed at least 3 minutes. Yeah. This was awful. This was a complete failure on Peacock's part because
missed all the entrances.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe they'll have it right.
Oh no! Oh, sorry.
They had them on Twitter. They had all the entrances on. No, it's great. They had all the entrance videos. They had all the entrance videos posted on Twitter like right away, and they were just getting fucking roasted in their Twitter threads. Every entrance they posted the video. And everybody was like, well, I wish I could see it. It's like, maybe you can just stream the whole show from here because Peacock sucks. Like, everybody was shitting on it.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
It's bad if the WWE network was working better than they
had to get going to Peacock so quickly. They really didn't work out all the kinks, unfortunately. It looks like Yanked Up had some problems as well. He was very upset about it too. Holy hell, that was horrible. Server went down. No wonder it's only $5 a month. Yeah, no shit. I'd be pissed if it was much more. But yeah, I watched all the entrances all choppy like, and then the match starts. I'm like, well, shit. I missed at least 2-3 minutes. Chicken, you said you refreshed and everything worked.
As soon as I refreshed, all I seen was Ricochet run as fast as he could, go off the ropes, and then just like fucking dive into everybody. And it was like, I was like, all right, cool. Like we're on, man. And
it took
this match did not disappoint. Holy shit. It was worth the lag. It was worth the lag. It was worth the choppiness to watch this. This was fucking awesome.
This was a typical car crash Money in the Bank match. Now, if you don't like those, then this isn't for you. But this was a really good one, especially after last year's just awful cinematic pile of shit. I hated that thing so much. I was really ready to see this, especially after the one earlier tonight that really did not deliver. So this, when I finally got refreshed, it took me twice. It took him 3 times. I finally get going, and it had kind of calmed down a little bit. 10 to 10 man WWE Network is the Excite AOL of streaming services, and it's still better than Peacock. Yeah, you got a point there. You got a point there. So it finally gets going.
That's a boomer user, isn't he?
Yeah, Excite AOL. Yeah, boomer.
So we finally get going, and it's the standard stuff where you've only got 1 to 3 guys in the ring. Everybody else is on the outside pretending they're all woozy doing that. But it didn't matter because the pacing here was spot on. Everybody knew where they needed to be. Everybody was in the right spot. It was clicking. It was working. Rollins would get in. He'd get a spot. Owens would be in.
Hang on. While you finish this, Tony, I'm going to roll out and lay out for a minute.
Okay.
And then when I'm needed, I'll jump back in.
Okay. So Ricochet, after you told me the big spot with Ricochet, I'm like, okay, I can't wait to see him. He's always exciting in these things. They'd got the ladder set up on the apron and the table because, of course, they did. You've got Rollins, you've got Morrison kind of doing a fake out partnership with the ladder, and they were not in sync for some reason, but they're double teaming.
Yeah, they were way off carrying that ladder. Like Morrison just seemed like he didn't know which direction they were supposed to go.
Oh, here come hit me.
Okay. All right. So, Chicken, how was the rest of that match?
Well, so we were just talking about how like Morrison just seemed to be off sync the whole time. They're supposed to be like chasing down people and hitting them with the ladder. It just wasn't working. Oh, was that with the briefcase?
It was briefcase. I thought it was ironic.
Yeah. Good use of props, bro.
Thanks. I'm here for it.
And appropriate.
Jesus, the 90s coming back. You've got me. All right. Did you get to the Ricochet spot yet?
No. I was just explaining the whole ladder miss.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, no. So like the Ricochet, I'm trying to remember how it started. First he like did the rope walk, jumps onto the ladder,
and Ricochet got on the turnbuckle, walks to center of the rope, jumps from the rope onto the ladder. So now they're both on the ladder. He manages to knock Riddle off the ladder. Riddle comes back and pushes over the ladder. Ricochet takes the opportunity to springboard off the ladder, lands both feet on another top rope on the other side, hits it, and immediately springboards up into a 450 to the outside of the ring onto like 6 guys. It was seamless. It was amazing. This was an incredible spot. Absolutely incredible.
So I got to roll back in on that.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're saying he came off the ladder
Yes.
onto the top rope, springboard off that
To the outside.
It looked like he jumped on a trampoline, and it was fucking amazing.
Yeah, this was a hell of a spot. Plus,
I did love the camera pan back to Riddle's face. He just did that whole it was just the amazed stoner look. Like,
yeah, it was great. No, this was a great spot.
It was great.
Owens took some really nasty spots. I think he took a really nasty one on the side of the ladder. Morrison,
so they had the ladder up sideways, and they they didn't powerbomb him. What the hell did they do to him? I'm trying to remember. He landed flat on his back, and it was a hard landing. And that was on
that spot 1,000 times.
Yeah, that was on the side of the ladder, but you could tell like it landed a little harder than they usually do. And
Morrison misses the Starship Pain flippy dippy shooting star bullshit while Drew was laying on it, and he barely nudged him with an elbow. I think he hurt himself more.
They both like grabbed their elbows and rolled away.
Yeah,
he's like, we fucked that one up, but it was still a cool jump, and he just didn't land it.
You finally got Big E was in there for a while. He did. I mean, he's just doing his power stuff. Owens is in there, starts stunnering everybody. Drew finally gets in, hits a double Claymore, I think on Ricochet, and was it Morris? I can't remember off the top of my head. He finally starts getting some momentum. And I was going to say this on the prediction show, and I totally forgot. And of course they do. Both Jinder Mahal's lackeys come out. put the boots to him. Jinder hits him with a chair. They take him completely out of the match.
And they drag him away. My son goes,
Yeah.
Are they allowed to kidnap people in this show?
In this match, yes. So Rollins is kind of dominating a little bit. Owens is hitting the stunners. These guys are both kind of in there. And, oh, God, how exactly do they set this up? You've got Kevin Owens up on – how did they set this up? It was Rollins took Kevin Owens off of the ladder in a powerbomb position.
He came up underneath of him and just tossed him over the ropes onto the ladder.
Launched him out of the ring. Onto that ladder.
They had a ladder from the ring to the announce table just like propped up, and so he threw him onto that, but it cracked in half and in kind of a weird spot too. It was like
watch that was fucking nuts.
Yeah, that was an incredible spot.
Yeah, that was
very nice. Very nice. Phil, I want to see that reenactment of the ladder top rope and grab. Do it. All right.
Okay.
You get started on that.
Okay. All right. So I need. All right.
No, we're not doing that here. Riddle's hitting RKOs left and right. It looked like things were going to go.
He hit that one off the ladder. That was spot on. That was cool.
Him and Nakamura.
Yeah.
Him and Nakamura had a really good thing going. I'd like to see that match. But no, we finally got Seth. He's up there. It looks like he was going to win. It was getting close. Big E finally gets in, gets up on the ladder. Hits the big ending off of the ladder to the apron, off. Seth rolled out to the apron. Big E back up the ladder, gets the briefcase. Big E is your Mr. Money in the Bank. This thing was really good. I had a couple spots I didn't love, but didn't like missing the intro. But man, for what last year's was and for what the women's was earlier tonight, this thing really did nail it out of the park. I don't know if it's quite match of the year, but this thing was really damn good.
I have to watch it back. It definitely sounds like it had some pretty good spots.
Absolutely.
But hang on, T, I need a moment here. Yeah. Big E is not just Mr. Money in the Bank. He is Mr. Money in the Bank. Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Get that in.
I'm interested to see what they do with this, because this is a guy who's really put the time in WWE. He's been a loyal company man. He's been a workhorse. He's pretty much done every stupid, weird, silly thing that they've ever asked him to, and he's loved every bit of it. So this is deserved. The push is fine. The breaking up of New Day, not breaking up, but separating. It's finally going to pay off for him. So I'm very excited to see what they do with this. This could be really big. This could be a huge, huge move for him. So congratulations, Big E.
Yeah.
This will be fun. All right.
What'd you rate that one?
I gave it 4. I enjoyed it. So if I watched it back in full and got the entrances and the full intro, I could go higher.
I gave it a solid 4, easy 4. Now you said, is this match of the year material? And you're kind of on the fence about that. What's that to compare to so far this year, though?
That's the thing. It's been there's not been a lot.
To me, this is one of the best matches I've seen this year.
I think it is. It's just match psychology isn't here other than people being in the right spot at the right time. So I usually reserve that for a more psychological.
When we've had the first 7 months of the year with no real good matchmaking or storylines, a good old brawl ladder match, Money in the Bank, action packed.
Yeah.
To me right now, it's leading the pack for me, because that was the most entertained I've been all year.
All right.
Oh my God, how much Shawn Michaels changed the business. A good old fashioned ladder match.
Yeah.
Just like Grandpa.
Good old fashioned.
And I know that's how much Shawn Michaels changed the business forever, boy.
It's up there. It was really good. I liked it a lot, but unfortunately for the main event, that really did take a lot of wind out of the sails. And next up was the main event: Roman Reigns and Edge for the Universal title. Yanked up. Wow, Phil, that started good, and then it lagged, and I missed it. Are you streaming to Peacock? Yeah, you missed it.
Damn it.
You missed the springboard 450. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it was right there. And this philosopher king, Phil KOE, Tony G, 2024, Chicken for Treasury Secretary. So there you go, Chicken.
Champions aren't secretaries, all right?
The thing is, your name is on the money then.
No.
So you get to sign Not you will not
No,
sign.
no,
you
I
will
just
sign
hold the
Chicken.
gold. I
It will
hold the
be
gold.
just-
You want to call me a secretary because I hold the gold? That's okay.
Well, we can print your name on the coins for those 4 years too. But yes, it's just going to be in cursive on your dollar bills, folks. Chicken.
All right, so Edge versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. The build for this was actually pretty good. Everything Roman's doing, build-wise, storyline-wise, has been pretty much great. I think they said he's at 322 days currently as champ because, he's closing in on a year already. It doesn't seem like it, but he is. And I liked the build for this. The promo package was good. The entrances were long here, but I think that was just to let everybody go take a piss break, come back, right, after that long car crash. So they get this thing started. It's very slow. It's very methodical. It's kind of jockeying for position at first, right? I got the upper hand. I'll pie face you. No, I'll pie face you. And Edge really didn't have a lot of answers right out of the gate. And this thing was very slow moving. It didn't have a lot going on here. It was very, very methodical. Holds, spot, hold. And they work this pace. Roman's usually really great at this. Edge is a seasoned vet, so it was working. Like, they were doing all the right stuff. But again, the problem was this came after a massive car crash match. So it's kind of hard to take your mind frame out of that, seeing Ricochet do a springboard 450, into seeing crossfaces and sleeper holds and the like. So I get why I know you took issue with the pacing. I enjoyed the pacing, but I wasn't getting sucked into this thing. And Roman really kind of just dominated this thing throughout a majority of it, really, until they got to the outside. Of course, he misses the big spear, goes through the barricade. Edge goes in. The ref's almost a 10. Like, oh, I'm sorry, you're going to win by DQ. Count out. Well, no, he gets out. He spears Roman through the other side. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. 2 barricade spots. All right, this is fine. He takes Roman, puts him back in. And I told you guys this in the messenger. I'm like, damn it, if I could get points for all the predictions I make while watching this fucking show, I'd have 100 of them. Because after the Money in the Bank match, Rollins is in there bitching. I'm like, oh, well, clearly he's going to cost Edge the fucking title tonight. Sure as shit. Here you go. The Usos come running out. As soon as Roman goes outside, busts the leg off the chair, brings it in. He's got Edge. Oh, no, counter. Never mind. Oh, the ref spot. Oh, God, it was horrible.
This is when I showed up.
Yeah, here comes Phil. So
I saw this.
Roman brings the chair piece in.
Anger.
Roman brings the chair piece in after the shitty ref bump. They come out and stretcher him out, basically. It was awful. Edge counters. Then he gets the log, the chair mouth lock on those pearly whites of Romans. Here come the Usos, right? Well, here come the Mysterios, and they stop the Usos. I'm like, this is happening like 2 seconds after. I'm like, well, here they come. Well, here they come. And sure enough, here they come.
Yeah, Tony pretty much called every so. Like, so here comes the Usos, and it's going to be the Mysterios to stop them. And then, hey, Phil, you want to know when Seth's going to come down?
Yeah.
I'll tell you when Seth's coming.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
Seth was pretty much a non-factor. And then, oh, shit, no, never mind. Roman kicks, Edge kicks out, and you think, well, maybe this is going to go the other way. Nah, this ain't going to go the other way. It was a nice attempt at a fake out, but we didn't buy it. So we had to have Seth Rollins come back again. Distracts Edge. Edge finally eats the spear. 1, 2, 3. Right? Okay, it's over. This is it, as we expected. This is Roman's title reign. This is Roman's title at this point. Basically, it's Roman's company because there's nobody else carrying this thing. No. We knew Edge was not going to be the new guy. I hope
he didn't get hurt or nothing happened. I'm going to knock on wood. Like, I hope he stays very healthy because there's not a lot of other folks that can carry it like that.
No, and Edge.
I mean, there were, but they buried them all.
No, exactly. And Edge is not going to be.
And laid them flat in the ring and started them on fire, literally.
Not at this point. Okay, let's not talk about that.
Okay, sorry.
So you get
still a little traumatized.
You get Seth Rollins in the ring after the match, does a stare down with Roman. Edge attacks him. They have a brawl. Seth misses a step on the outside of the ring and kind of trips as Edge is yanking him by the hair and almost scalps Seth Rollins as they fight in the crowd. And I think some potatoes were thrown there. So they're gone now, right? Here's Roman. Oh, acknowledge me, world. All right. That's all you get. And then... that's plenty. Yes, John Cena returns, comes in, long drawn out entrance, and then he simply just
No. He doesn't do that. This is brilliance. He steps
did the
once,
big
like,
step.
Can I cross line? Can I step again? Cross line? You can't see me. Oh!
and then he climbs the turnbuckle, turns his back to Roman, and that was the fade out. I'm like, kind of
That's a disrespect to Roman.
Yeah.
And Roman just had to stand there and take it. Like, dang it.
Yeah. But the match, it was very slow paced. It kind of built up towards the end, but it got very predictable for me. I knew it was coming before it happened. So it's not like this knocked it out of the park for me. So I liked it enough to give it a 3.25. But yes, very predictable, but it was a serviceable match.
Yeah, it was it was very slow starting, and like Edge apparently can't take a shot for the first like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But then the last 10 minutes he can get the shit kicked out of him and kick out of everything. But the first 10 minutes he got hit in the head once and he laid down and almost got counted out twice. I don't like the logic wasn't there. Like the disbelief is undeniable at this point of the problems with this. The first 10 minutes were awful. It got better. It got a lot better as it went on. Yeah, it was pretty predictable. Again, through the eyes of a 12-year-old that's sitting next to me, he's like, why does and this is funny because he hasn't watched this with live crowds yet. And so he's like, Dad, why is everybody booing Roman? I think Roman's pretty cool. Because Roman's a bad guy. He goes,
that's how it works for all of us. Like,
yeah, he's
Steve Austin.
Yeah, but it was fascinating to me to see him have that realization that like, oh, nobody likes him. Okay. So he had to sit there and backtrack a little bit, and then later on when Cena comes out, and everybody's cheering for Cena, and side note, like I just had a little bubble in my head, like I want to caption it, where you could see Roman sitting in the middle of the ring, like staring at Cena when Cena's like up on the ropes with his arms up. Roman sitting here going, I held this company together through fucking COVID. And the first time we have fans, your fucking ass shows up and takes the fucking crowd over. Like, I can just imagine.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is when the era was time to pass the torch, Hulk Hogan came to the back like, all right, Cena, brother. Come here, brother. I'm going to teach you all of my secrets to sucking the heat out of any arena that you go into for anybody else to get yourself over, brother. These are my secrets. I give my secrets to you.
Yeah. But yeah, match-wise, I gave it 3. It was good. The first 10 minutes was awful. I fucking hated the first 10 minutes.
You give it 3 stars. Hustle, loyalty, respect. 3 stars.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Right, that's good. So I don't know what I took away from this match. Obviously, they're still teasing the Seth Rollins Roman match. Eventually, we'll get that again. But what I really liked coming out of this more than anything was this solidified. We are getting Edge versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Holy crap, that's going to be an amazing match.
It'll be a great match, but at what stakes? Like what's on the line there?
Doesn't matter. It's going to steal the show.
It would have been more fun if there was something on the line.
It's still going to be great. Giving Seth some more rub and legitimacy and beating a legit legend. That's what's at stake because Edge is here. He's doing kind of a more glorified Randy Orton role where he's just getting folks over.
Here's the thing. If everybody had a belt on this show, it wouldn't be very interesting to see us fight for it. So you can't have even though they have enough belts on WWE nowadays to do that, they don't need to do that. And you know what? Make it if you build a match right, and this is a match that they could build right. This is a match that people want to see, right? Yeah, I know.
I was just gonna say, like Phil's sitting there with like his self-glorifying belt.
Jesus. Anywho,
Phil's got a couple extra laying around, I'm sure.
I know, you can see him. So if you build this match right, this could be really special. This could be really memorable. That, to me, could be a match of the year contender. I really like the idea that eventually Big E's going to get a title shot. Probably not within this year, but could happen. We're going to have Cena versus Roman. You know that's going to be a stellar match at SummerSlam. We're pretty sure we're going to get fucking Goldberg and Lashley, and I'll just go ahead and give that a 1.75 star now because I'm expecting a regress from Lashley because Goldberg ain't no ring general, and he's not really up to sniff anymore. So that could really suck. I'm sure you're excited.
Could you imagine if Goldberg picks Bobby up for the jackhammer?
You've got the potential for Phil has a self-award participation trophy. Yes.
No, you don't understand. The KOE Nation demanded this title be crowned and bestowed upon me. This was not something that I take lightly.
Okay. You've got the potential for returning Becky Lynch tomorrow night on Raw, so you could have Becky, Charlotte, Rhea, now apparently Nikki Ash with the Money in the Bank briefcase. There's some interesting stuff that could happen there. Over on SmackDown, I don't know really what they're going to do now with the Usos as tag champs. I'm not 100% sure where they're going with Bianca Belair, especially with Bayley being out. I assume we're going to see more Sasha.
Alexa Bliss now?
I don't know what they do with Alexa. They've literally buried her again. I don't know. Maybe it's time to move her to SmackDown. It's hard to say. AJ and Omos are probably going to lose the belts at SummerSlam, so it really doesn't matter who they put them in the ring against. They just need to get the belts off of them before Survivor Series. I don't know. I like some of the potential here. Drew McIntyre is going to be going against Jinder Mahal. That could be decent. I'm sure they'll have a good chemistry, and if Drew McIntyre doesn't win that, I might cry a little bit. I like a lot of the potential here. So I might just have to watch Raw tomorrow. I might even get through the whole thing.
Oh, dear God.
I just might. Any other comments or questions before we wrap this thing up, folks?
No.
I just have one thing I do want to say here real quick.
Of course he does.
You know who's got to be the most pissed off about the Usos winning the tag team titles? Who's got to be the most angry about that?
Arn Anderson.
Him and Jake Hager. Think about that one for just a second. Think about it for just a second. What the fuck? Jimmy Uso gets a DUI and he wins the tag team titles. He gets popped for weed and loses his big gold title. So yes, Jake Hager, you have just got. No, I'm kidding. Jimmy, we love you. I'm not going to shit on you anymore. I'm sure everybody in your family and friends are doing that enough to you.
Yeah.
Good luck. Get through it. And yes, gentlemen, shall I?
Let him talk.
No.
He's the champ.
No, really?
Yeah. Your current reigning, defending, undisputed, legit champ. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Take it away, Bill.
Folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for our review of Money in the Bank. Folks, there is plenty more to come at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast right here on YouTube and Spotify. Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Join us on the road to the party of the summer, SummerSlam, where we will take that belt back from that rapscallion ne'er-do-well chicken, which you can find him at Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube and Facebook. Big Buckin' Entertainment on Twitch. Also, check him out at Norwalk IRL on YouTube. Folks, I am Phil KOE of the KOE Nation on YouTube and Twitch, the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, the lord of the Scottish Highlands, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, one damn handsome man, and the current emperor of Big Buckin' Empire. And I want it no givesies backsies too. Folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Raise a glass to yourselves, every last one of you beautiful people. We hope to find you back here at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Happy, healthy, much the wiser. God bless every last one of y'all, folks. Catch you later.
I'm just Tony G. Also catch me at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Like, share, subscribe here on YouTube, on Spotify. Go over to Big Buckin' Empire on Facebook. like and subscribe
What's your
there.
TikTok, by the way?
Tony the Rod 2.0 on TikTok for now until they boot me again. Definitely go listen to it on Spotify, all the audio platforms, of course. And
I would give you access to the big bucking one, but like I have a feeling you'd get it banned like really fast.
yeah, you don't want that mojo on there. My God,
Yeah.
no, social media hates me. My God.
Yeah,
But
they
yes,
do.
SummerSlam coming up next, folks. Let's hope Justin picks a different horse. Maybe my luck will change.
No,
Like, share, subscribe.
Justin, keep rooting for Tony. I appreciate it, bud. Keep betting me bottles. Keep betting bottles for me too.
Oh wow! It's like Northeastern basketball teams. Like, no, you're the bad luck guy. Like, dang it. You ever
It's a
seen
sock.
Celtic Pride?
It's a sock. Yeah.
So, all right, folks. Thank you. We'll catch y'all later. God bless.
I don't have access to stop the live
KOE
feed.
Nation. KOE Nation on